Welcome to the Contacts section. The Contacts tool is the backbone of everything. Every lead, client, and conversation lives inside the Contacts tool. In this video, I'll show you how contacts are stored, what information matters, and how to use this section to manage people instead of chasing them. This is a dynamic list of all of your contacts inside the account. It allows you to interact, filter, communicate, and sort contacts based on your company's needs. To begin, you will start inside the Smart List section. Smart List is a way to organize each one of your contacts. Think of it like sections to a sheet. Inside of here, you can see that all contacts are visible and only customers are visible. In our case, we have what's called an advanced filter attached that only tags that equal customer are allowed inside the customer Smart List. Underneath the All Smart List, we can see all contact records, a total of 34 in our account, and there are no sorting or advanced filters happening. Each one of our contact records can be clicked into and communicated with. We can see the names, owners, followers, tags, and a bunch of fields attached to the contact record. If we want to interact with this contact, we can send SMS or email. We can also see the activity, the associations, any tasks associated with the contact, add notes, book appointments, see documents, and see all past payments. Going back to our Smart List, if we want to interact with multiple contacts at the same time, we have a couple of options. We can check individual boxes on the left-hand side and select multiple records. When we do this, we can see the number of contacts we've selected, the ability to select all, and a couple of options show up. If we want to export the contacts that we've selected, we can click on the Export button, which will download in a CSV file to your device. You can also trigger an automation. If you trigger automations, you'll have to put in the action name, attach the workflow, select the workflow, and choose whether or not you're sending them to the workflow all at once, at a scheduled time, or sending in drip mode, where you send a couple of messages or a couple of people in batches. Next, you can choose to send an email to the selected contacts. When you confirm and proceed, you can choose the action name, choose who the email's from, the from email, subject, a pre-header, and you can choose to either create an email with a quick compose or from a smart builder, or choosing one of your existing templates that you have in your library. Once you're happy with all of your email settings, you can choose to send all the emails at once, scheduling them, or sending in batch modes. Batch modes allowed you to send in batches of certain number of contacts, how many days apart, and when to start. And you can choose the days that you send on. Additional settings include the ability to track the number of clicks, UTM tracking, and adding tags. You can then test emails before you send it and confirm that you have consent. You can then review the campaign and send. Whenever you do any one of these actions up here, these will then show up in the bulk action section, which we'll get to here in a minute. If I wanted to unselect all the contacts, I can do that here, but let's reselect them and continue on going through these steps. In our case, I want to add a tag to all 4 of these. I'm going to be adding the customer tag. I can see that 2 of them are already added, but I want to add it to these 2 as well. I'm going to click Add Tag. I'm going to do a description. I'm going to go choose a tag. In our case, we're going to do customer. We're going to add the tag. We can check the progress underneath the bulk action section, and we can go and choose the statistics and see that there was a 4 out of 4 success rate with 0 errors. We choose which contacts were interacted with, the success, and the error. If we want to download a record, we can. Underneath bulk actions, you also have the ability to view additional details and see which users have performed those bulk actions. Going back to our Smart List, we can see that now these 4 records have these 4 tags. If we go and click on the customer list, the additional records have been added to our list. Reselecting on some of these contacts, we have the ability to delete. If we click on the delete button, it will not immediately delete them, but it will ask you to reconfirm that you do want to delete those contacts before you do. You can click on More, and you have a couple of options. You can send bulk SMS, bulk email, send WhatsApp, you can request reviews, and you can manage the individual companies, manage opportunities, trigger automations, add tags, remove tags, export and merge, as well as delete. The Merge button allows you to merge multiple contact records. When you click on Merge, it'll ask you which pieces you want to keep as the master and which ones you want duplicated. This will make sure that you don't lose information during the merge. You can choose fields with different values, or you can choose to merge all fields. When you click on Merge Contacts, you can then see the end result. Each one of the communications will now show up underneath one dashboard. In our case, both of the phone numbers were attached to this contact record. In the case of wanting to add additional smart lists, you've got a couple options. You can click on Advanced Filter, add a new filter to this, which may be email is not empty. And when we apply the email filter, we can choose between two contacts. A new option called Unsaved Changes will show up in the upper right-hand corner. When we click on that, we can choose to save as a new smart list. In this case, email is not empty is the name of our smart list. If we want to add additional filters and sort by or select which fields are visible, then we can apply those here. Once we're happy, we can click on Create. We now have a new smart list called Email is not empty. However, if you click on the Customize list, you now have a couple options. You can duplicate the smart list, you can export, but you also have sharing and permissions. By default, the sharing and permissions are not shared with all users. So the smart list is only visible to you. If you want to add one of your team members to be able to visualize the same smart list as you have to click on an Add User. You can choose whether or not they can edit this smart list. Click on Share. Once you're happy with those results, of course, you can delete the list. But another way to manage those smart lists is by clicking on Manage Smart List. In our case, the email is not empty, can be dragged and dropped into the order that we choose, and a new plus symbol that says Shared by You is visible. If you hover over to the right-hand side, you can share the smart list as well, and you can choose the settings whether or not it is a global or shared with an individual user. Going back to our smart list section, we have the ability to manage our fields, search for contacts. When you manage the fields, this will show which parts of the fields are visible underneath this list. So in our case, we showed the contact name and first and last name are now visible. You also have the ability to import new contacts from this page, adding contacts, exports, restore, manage smart lists, manage duplicates, and settings.